History was made when President Donald Trump signed an executive order establishing America's first strategic Bitcoin reserve, essentially creating a digital Fort Knox for the 21st century. The White House recently hosted its first ever crypto summit, bringing together industry leaders and government officials for what many are calling a pivotal moment in US financial history. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happened at this landmark summit, what the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve actually means, and why this shift in government policy could impact the entire cryptocurrency landscape for decades to come. Whether you're a Bitcoin maximalist, crypto enthusiast, an investor, or just someone trying to understand where the financial world is heading, this unprecedented government initiative has implications that stretch far beyond Bitcoin itself. Let's dive into what you need to know about this historic moment. The White House Crypto Summit marked a dramatic shift in the US government's approach to digital assets. President Trump, once skeptical of cryptocurrencies, gathered industry leaders including Michael Saylor, the Winklevoss twins, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, as well as representatives from other major crypto companies, to discuss the future of digital finance in America. Central to the summit was Trump's executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And here's what it actually does. First, it formalizes the retention of approximately 200,000 Bitcoin that the US government already owns, which is almost 1% of the total supply that will ever exist. This comes primarily from seizures and forfeitures over the years. Bitcoin, worth tens of billions of dollars today, will now be maintained as a strategic asset rather than sold off. Second, it creates a separate digital asset stockpile for other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and XRP that the government has acquired through similar means. And then third, it directs the Treasury and Commerce departments to explore ways to specifically acquire additional Bitcoin at no cost to taxpayers. A key point that was emphasized repeatedly during the summit is this no cost to taxpayers qualification. And finally, it signals the end of what many in the industry have called Operation Choke Point 2.0. which is the regulatory crackdown that's made it so difficult for crypto businesses to operate in the United States. Why is the US government suddenly embracing cryptocurrency? Several key themes emerged during this summit. The first is national competitiveness. As crypto czar David Sachs put it during the summit, we're doing our utmost to ensure that we're leading the globe in terms of digital, financial, technological innovation. The administration views cryptocurrency leadership as a strategic imperative, particularly as China and other countries develop their own digital currency strategies. The second is asset accumulation. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent emphasized that President Trump is creating assets for the American people, while most past presidents have created debt. The administration sees Bitcoin as a potential hedge against inflation and economic uncertainty. And third is technological innovation. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick highlighted that technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency, and that blockchain and Bitcoin are key parts of that thinking. But perhaps most significant was President Trump's declaration that, from this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoiner knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. This represents a complete reversal from previous administrations that sold the seized Bitcoin, with Trump noting that those sales cost American taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. The industry leaders present at this summit expressed surprise and enthusiasm at the government's new approach. Tyler Winklevoss noted that just a year ago, many in the crypto space thought it would be more likely that we would end up in jail than at the White House. That sentiment was echoed by others who described years of regulatory uncertainty and hostility. As one executive put it, we've been beaten down and kicked down over the course of really the last decade and a half. This shift in tone has already produced tangible results. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong revealed that his company is planning to hire approximately 1,000 people in the United States this year, as a direct result of Trump's actions already in the first 60 days. The markets, however, have shown a more measured response. While Bitcoin's price has remained relatively stable, there hasn't been the explosive growth that some might have expected, following such a significant announcement. This suggests that the market may be taking a wait-and-see approach to the government's plans, particularly regarding how additional Bitcoin might be acquired without taxpayer funds. The strategic Bitcoin reserve has implications that extend far beyond just cryptocurrency markets. And here are several key areas worth watching. First is the monetary policy impact. By declaring Bitcoin a strategic asset and promising to hold rather than sell it, the US government is implicitly acknowledging Bitcoin's role as a store of value. This could influence how the Federal Reserve and other central banks think about inflation, interest rates, and the overall monetary system in a world where digital assets are considered sovereign stores of value. Second is global competitive positioning. The summit repeatedly touched on international competition, particularly with China. By establishing a Bitcoin reserve, the US is positioning itself in what could become a global race to accumulate digital assets. And the third is regulatory landscape shifts. The summit signaled an end to the regulatory uncertainty that has plagued the crypto industry. Both President Trump and the officials present committed to providing clear guidelines that would foster innovation rather than stifle it. And finally, a stablecoin development focus. Treasury Secretary Bessent specifically highlighted stablecoins as an area of focus, stating that we are going to keep the US dollar the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that. This suggests that the administration sees dollar-backed stablecoins as a way to extend US monetary influence globally. So, what happens next? The summit sets several wheels in motion. Congress faces a tight deadline, with President Trump requesting legislation before the August recess to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed stablecoins and digital assets. This ambitious timeline suggests formal frameworks could emerge within mere months. Meanwhile, the Treasury and Commerce departments are tasked with exploring budget-neutral Bitcoin acquisition strategies. Options for this may include government mining operations, asset conversion, or tax incentives to boost domestic mining. On the global stage, the US move could trigger a domino effect. Other nations may feel pressured to establish their own digital asset reserves, potentially sparking an international race to accumulate Bitcoin. The institutional landscape will likely transform as well, with the federal government treating Bitcoin as a strategic asset. Previously hesitant financial institutions may reconsider their stance, potentially driving substantial new demand. Perhaps most significant is the immediate end to regulatory uncertainty. President Trump's declaration that we are ending Operation Choke Point 2.0 signals a dramatic shift. For many crypto-associated businesses, this regulatory clarity may prove even more valuable than the symbolic importance of the strategic Bitcoin reserve itself. The White House Crypto Summit and the establishment of the strategic Bitcoin reserve mark a turning point in how the US government approaches digital assets. After years of uncertainty and often hostility, the administration has made a clear commitment to embracing cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, specifically Bitcoin. As President Trump told the assembled industry leaders, I thought it was very important that we stay in the front of this one. We're way in the lead as we are in AI and other things, and we want to stay there. This strategic pivot reflects a recognition that Bitcoin and its underlying technology are not passing fads, but fundamental innovations that will shape the future of finance. By establishing the strategic Bitcoin reserve, the US government has taken a significant step toward embracing that future. Whether this initiative will achieve its stated goals remains to be seen. Questions remain about how additional Bitcoin will be acquired, what regulatory frameworks will emerge, and how other companies will respond. But one thing is absolutely clear. The US government's relationship with cryptocurrency has entered a new era. For industry enthusiasts, investors, and the broader financial world, this development deserves close attention in the months and years ahead. The digital Fort Knox has been established, and its impact on our financial system may be more profound than anybody currently realizes. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more updates on important developments in Bitcoin mining, digital assets, and finance.